Everyone thinks Brock Lesnar came back to punish Oba Femi. No, Brock came back because Oba Femi embarrassed the myth. That is the part WWE doesn't want you focusing on. At WrestleMania, Oba did not just beat Brock, he made Brock look human. And for Brock Lesnar, that is worse than losing. Because Brock Lesnar was never sold like a normal wrestler. Brock was sold like a disaster warning. When his music hits, the building just changes. Commentary panics. The crowd tightens up. The man across from him suddenly looks like he made a horrible life choice. That was Brock's real weapon. Not the F5, not the suplex city. Fear before contact. But Oba Femi did not give him that. Oba walked into Brock's world and refused to shrink. That is why the gloves and boots moment mattered. Everyone saw Brock sitting there and thought, this is the end. But maybe it was not the end of Brock Lesnar. Maybe it was the end of Brock's old aura. Because Brock did not leave that thing after destroying another victim. He left after Oba beat him. He left after a young monster stood across him and looked like he belonged there. Now Brock is back. And that is where the story gets uncomfortable. Because Brock Lesnar was never supposed to need image repair. Because Brock Lesnar was never supposed to chase a rematch just to remind people that he is still scary. That is not beast incarnate behavior. That is a wounded legend behavior. And wounded legends are dangerous because they are not fighting for a win anymore. They are fighting to erase an image. The image of Oba standing tall. The image of Brock looking emotional. The image of the monster becoming a man. That is what WWE is really trying to fix. And here's the thing. If Brock stayed gone, Oba becomes a man who sent him away. That is historic. That is dangerous. That is the kind of moment that turns a rising star into the next final boss overnight. But if Brock came back too quickly, it tells a different story. It tells us Brock could not live without Oba being the final chapter. That is just not revenge. It's insecurity dressed up as dominance. And now WWE has a booking problem they created themselves, all by themselves. If Oba beats Brock again, WWE has no excuse anymore. He's not our prospect. He's not the future someday. He's the guy right now. Because you do not beat Brock twice and then go back waiting your turn. But if Brock wins too easily at the same time, WWE exposes the trick. The retirement tees, the boots, the gloves, the emotions, they come back. Suddenly it all feels like a powerful story and more like WWE using Brock's fake goodbye to make the rematch feel even bigger. Fans did not just react to a match. They reacted to what they thought was an ending. We all did. So if WWE brings back Brock just to erase Oba's big moment, then they are not protecting Brock's legacy. They are teaching the audience, the WWE universe, not just to trust them anymore, but not even to trust the emotional storytelling. That is the real danger. Brock could win and Oba could survive it, but if Brock destroys him clean, then WWE is not building the next monster. They're feeding the new monster to the old one because the new one got too powerful way too fast. And that would tell us everything because Oba Femi is not scary because he beat Brock once. He's scared because he beat Brock even when Brock came back. And so this time Brock is going to be walking in like the final boss who heard somebody else's music playing in his room. And WWE has to decide what matters more. Protecting the past, that era, or letting the future become undeniable. Because if Brock wins too easily, we all know what's going to happen. So tell me in the comments below, should Oba Femi beat Brock again? Or is WWE about to make him pay